The ring sat in a dusty drawer, tucked beneath old receipts and fading photographs. Daniel hadn't touched it in years, but he never threw it away either. It was a quiet artifact of a life paused, of a question that had never been answered. Her name was Emily. 2 years of Sunday morning coffees, road trips to nowhere, and quiet evenings on the couch with legs tangled together. He had proposed under the golden leaves of October, her favorite month. She'd said yes, her eyes shining with something close to tears. He remembered the way she clutched his coat after, the way she'd whispered, "Don't ever let me go." Then one day she did. No fight. No warning. Just a short note left on their kitchen counter. "I'm sorry. I can't do this. Please don't try to find me." And that was it. She vanished like mist. Friends didn't know anything. Her phone was disconnected, her apartment empty. The police said she left of her own will. Nothing they could do. Closure was a luxury Daniel never got. Years passed. He tried to move on. He dated women with kind hearts, smart eyes, and laughter that could melt stone. And each time, as things began to bloom, right as they neared the point where love required surrender, he pulled away. He became distant. Ended it kindly, but decisively. He didn't want to give someone his whole heart again only to have it handed back to him in fragments he couldn't piece together. It wasn't until he was in his early 40s, sitting in a quiet park with a book he wasn't reading, that something inside cracked. A woman sat next to him on the bench, middle-aged, gentle-faced, with eyes full of distance and pain. She stared at the trees like they were hiding something. They sat in silence for a while. Then she said, "I left someone once. Without a word. I loved him, but I was sick. Mentally. I was scared he'd see the cracks. So I ran." Daniel turned to look at her, something tightening in his chest. She wasn't Emily. But her words opened something in him he hadn't dared to name in years. "Did you ever go back?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. She shook her head. "No. I was too ashamed. And I figured he was better off not knowing. That maybe it would be easier that way." Daniel looked down at his hands. All these years, he had lived in the shadow of a question. But maybe it wasn't about the answer anymore. Maybe it was about accepting that people break in ways we never see coming. That night, he opened the drawer. He didn't take the ring out. But for the first time, he allowed himself to close the drawer with peace instead of pain. Tomorrow, he would call someone he had been afraid to lose. And maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't run this time.